Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. On today's episode... Oh, yeah, by the way, the show's called Totally Broken Opinions. Got it in there. I remember.
Finally. Sticking along enough.
Yes, this is our Easter special. And what better way to honor the tradition of Easter by talking about things that we want to have revived.
Woo! Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that what Easter's all about? Revival of a guy that people believe in for some reason?
What do you think? It's all about resurrection, yes.
Matrix Resurrection.
Matrix?
Yeah, that's a franchise that came back and died immediately.
That is true. So many franchises have had resurrections. Some of them successful, some of them not. So here we're talking about franchises and things we would like to see revived, or some things we don't want to see.
TV, movies, yeah. Stuff that we reckon could have done well if they'd been given a chance. Or just stuff that we just wanted to see continue.
Yes.
I'll start. I would have liked more Treasure Planet movies.
What's Treasure Planet?
The animated Disney movie.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it wasn't very successful, but it is a very good film, Dan. It's one of Disney's nicest looking movies, and it's a space one. It's basically Treasure Island, but in space.
Oh.
So and it's like from the early 2000s. It's like around that time of like the Atlantis movies and like all of those like straight to like in cinema releases, but like the early 2000s era of Disney where no one really remembers it because it was like after The Lion King and everything.
I swear I've seen memes from this show, this film.
Yeah, the little pink blobby guy is a big meme, and the robot is a big meme. It's a very good movie. I highly recommend it if you have the time. It's it's like only an hour and 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, I'm really surprised I've not seen it before. And you never know, right? Disney is making live actions of everything at the moment.
I have said countless times, if Disney ever remade this as a live action, they won't, because it wasn't in the era where it was profitable, and this is such a niche movie. Like, every person who watches it loves it, but it just didn't do well box officely. And it's not known.
It might just came out before its time. If they just marketed properly now,
it got buried.
Like, I feel like if that film came out more modern now, it would do a lot better. Because that's what more films are now anyway, is more that genre.
Yeah, but I just think it didn't get a shot. So, and then Disney just buried it because it didn't do very well. And it was meant to have like stuff after it and like continue. But because it didn't do that well financially, it made its money back, I think. But it didn't do Disney Lion King numbers, which they wanted. So... And Disney won't spend a lot of money. Because that's the problem with it, is if they did do a live-action movie, they'd have to put a lot of money into it, and I don't think they'd ever risk it.
No, probably not.
Yeah, it's a shame. What do you have, Dan?
I'm going to start off with Torchwood.
Is this the Doctor Who spin-off?
Yes, it's the adult Doctor Who. It was like 15 or 18 plus episodes.
Ooh la la.
And literally the second episode would be about an alien who feeds themselves by fucking other men and then kills them and turns into dust. Which is very non-children.
Yep, doesn't sound it.
Yeah, but it's a really good show. Like, honestly, it's so good.
And why did it get cancelled?
It never actually got cancelled. It just never got renewed.
Yeah, well, that basically means cancelled.
Yeah, I know, but my point is, it wasn't like, oh yeah, it was never like, oh, we're not going to make it anymore. It was more that the sort of head producer went on to do other things. So Russell T Davies, he went to do other things. And it basically never went back to it. Similar to Sherlock as well. How Stephen Moffat, who wrote that, kind of went on to do other things, but just never got back to it.
Never watched either of them.
It just got forgotten about. I'm talking about Resurrecting. Sherlock would be nice as well.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch is busy.
I know, that's the thing. It's great shows. It just had too much like high-profile people involved. And it just, it was really annoying as well, because Torch would also end on a sort of cliffhanger. Wasn't really ever finished.
Ah, see, I've got one that's ended on a cliffhanger that I really want to have resolved.
What's that?
My Name is Earl. It's a comedy thing where a guy basically is a scumbag and has done loads of terrible things in his life. And then he wins a lottery ticket, gets hit by a car, repents, makes a list of all the bad things that he's done, and goes back to try and resolve all of the problems that he's done.
Right.
It's a very good show. I think it's on Disney Plus. But this got cancelled ages ago, and one of the revelations is he's trying to do a DNA test to find out if someone's kid, and it turns out, oh, he's the kid's dad, and then there's another cliffhanger where because the main guy's ex-wife is married to another person. Turns out that person isn't the father of the kid that she thought she had with him. And then it just ends, and then there's no resolution. And we never get to find out what happens to his list and stuff like that. And does he ever check it all off?
I always hate it when like TV shows just end.
Yeah, it sucks. It's because they don't get the chance to... Because I think it's just like, they never give a show a chance to wrap up. Because it's always just essentially the studios go, I didn't do well, cancel it. And then just give no satisfaction to any of the viewers. Like, not even like maybe 3 or 4 episodes just to tie it all up at the end. Just like a movie, like, or something. Movie length.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. You got another one?
Final Space. Another one.
I never watched it.
Ended on a cliffhanger. It's one of those shows, right? It really shouldn't be entertaining, but you do just get invested in the characters.
I think I've seen clips. Is this the space one?
Yeah, it's called Final Space.
Yeah, I know. But there could be like, I don't know how you do a space thing without space.
Yeah, so what's happened now... So what happened was the creator who made it had an agreement with another company to make it, and the other company didn't want to finalize the last series. And the guy was like, fine, I'll just find another way to make it. But then they also refused to give the rights away.
Was this Warner Brothers, perhaps?
I think it was Warner Brothers or something like that, yeah.
Shocking.
Or it's like one of their subsidiary companies or something, I think. But yeah, it's just like, it's such a shitty thing to do. If you're not going to make another season, just at least give the rights away.
Yeah, or just release it like, Batgirl and the Coyote versus Acme and that Scooby-Doo movie. Things that should be just releases, but they're tax write-offs. I think if you do that, they should be public domain.
Absolutely.
Like,
why not? What's the fucking point?
You're getting your tax write-off, you get a tax write-off and it becomes public domain and people can just watch it for free and it just, any streaming service can host it.
Yeah, it's
I think that
so
should
fucking
be
stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently what the creator did, he got some lawyers and he was able to actually finish the story in a sort of comic book.
Sounds lame. Comic books. Ugh.
Yeah, but it's like proper thick, the book, because he was advertising it, and I thought about it. But
You got to be pretty thick to read it.
Well, it's really expensive to buy. It's like £200 to buy because it's like not mass produced. So like when you're printing something.
Oh yeah, I know how books work.
Yeah, it's like, one thing is if you're not making a lot, it's really fucking expensive, and it's like really thick. It's like I think it's over an inch thick of a comic book, which is mad.
They should at least allow it to be a digital copy, and then you don't have to deal with that.
It wasn't allowed. As part of the agreement. It wasn't allowed. It was not allowed to be digitalized. It had to be paperbook.
Well, someone who buys that book, photo scan every page and then release it.
You probably can find it somewhere, to be honest.
I'm sure they can.
And if I ever can find it, I probably will finish it.
How did it end?
Ended on a cliffhanger, actually.
Yeah, but what's the cliffhanger? That's the point. I was like,
so Final Space is they kind of go to like another universe, and then it ends with them getting out of the other universe. But then they also sort of bring the big bad with them back into our universe.
Okay.
That's kind of very brief, like very kind of like
you can spoil
condensed.
it. I don't think anyone cares.
To be honest, I can't remember that many details. It's a while since I saw it.
Revived?
Yeah, I want it to be revived because I think I would happily go back and watch. I remember that I really enjoyed it more
But
than
you wouldn't
the
pay
details.
£200 to buy a book.
I would pay money, but not, I just can't. £200 is just unreasonable.
Put it on a loan.
I got a new phone to buy at some point.
The Amazing Spider-Man 3. The long lost dead Andrew Garfield.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Might potentially happen, depending on how badly Sony fucks up every other movie they've got, and they need to desperately rely on something, because they're re-releasing all of the Spider-Mans this year in cinemas for some reason. I think because Madam Web... Apparently Madam Web lost them so much money.
I'm not surprised.
Like 400 million or something like that. Just crazy. But yeah, I would have liked to see this franchise continue because I like Andrew Garfield. He is the Spider-Man that I really enjoyed when I was a child because he was the Spider-Man when I was a teenager. And I don't really love Tobey Maguire's. I've never had that soft spot that everyone else seems to have.
No, I'm the same with you. I never really liked those films. I think they were just all a bit too goofy for me.
It's not even that. I just don't know what it is. I just don't think. I think it's just I liked Andrew Garfield more because he felt more Spider-Man-y to me. Whereas Tobey Maguire was just.
everyone says Tobey Maguire's the best Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield's the best Spider-Man, Tom Holland's the best of both.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but I really just wanted to see Andrew Garfield continue. Because I think he didn't get a fair shot, because he just got shafted by Sony's dumbassery.
I mean, he always might.
Yeah, it's
you never know.
potential. I would love it. I think, because they're trying to get, I can't remember what the rumor was, but I think Sony is just trying to get Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back into the MCU for like another Avengers movie or something like that. And because I think Spider-Man 4, Tom Holland's one, is meant to just be, they finally got him to a grounded Spider-Man where he's got his own suit, no tech, no gadgets, he's on his own, he's sad and depressed. And it's just that. But Sony keeps going, but we could put Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in it and have him be on a road trip and have all of this fun, gadgety, fun things through the multiverse. And Marvel just keeps going, no, just let us do our... Like, we could put Venom in it. And it's just like, no, leave him alone. But I'd like to see the continuation. I think, honestly, I do think Tom Hardy's Venom would fit in very well with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing, because in the Venom film, it really does insinuate there is no Spider-Man because of what happens.
No, because Venom knows.
No, but Venom's got hive mind.
Yeah, I know, but he also... I know that's everyone's justification as to why it would happen, but I also think there could have just been a Spider-Man.
I guess so. I mean, Chicago...
It's New York and...
San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Yeah.
So it's like the complete opposite side of America, isn't it? San Francisco?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So you could theoretically fit it in and not have it. It's just you'd have to then include Morbius. And I think Andrew Garfield, because Andrew Garfield goes, he stops pulling his punches. Maybe Morbius is the first guy he kills.
That's called wishful thinking.
Yeah, that would be the perfect way to wrap this franchise up. Anyway, your next one, Dan.
I'm going to change up a little bit and go for Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That ended all right, though, didn't it?
Oh, it did end all right. I just miss it. It was like one of the last best live, not live, but like sitcoms that had actual people in it.
I did enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed it. But I think it kind of ran its course.
Maybe. I don't know. It's one of those things I don't know. I just miss it. I'm going back through all episodes. I don't know where
they go, because they got married, they had a kid, everyone else's story wrapped up.
No, but I just wish the last season had more episodes.
The actor died.
Yeah, that did happen. It's just something I just said. Like, if there was another series, I wouldn't have been upset. Or if it was a complete final series, because it ended.
It got cancelled and brought back so many times, though.
Futurama treatment.
Yep, we got Futurama. Is there more Futurama planned?
There is, yeah. I think they got another 2 seasons planned as well.
Oh, great. Yeah. Hopefully we get more of whatever episode it was that everyone universally hated. The ad episode.
Oh, yeah. That was shit.
Futurama back is just ad.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. The most recent series was quite shit in terms of Futurama.
I think some of them were fine. I just think some of them were...
The last one was, good. The last episode was good. But
look, we have a whole...
We do. That's true.
Go back and check that out. So yeah, why do you want your one back?
I just enjoy it, really.
Okay, I'm going to look up a franchise. So, would you have ever wanted the continuation of the Golden Compass movies?
No, I wouldn't.
Because that is, I'm just looking up planned sequels and cancelled movie franchises. And all of them, it's like the Golden Compass franchises in it.
Yeah, but they made the TV show.
Yeah, I know, but this is before. If you'd watched that movie and gone, oh, I really enjoyed this movie. Hard to say. I think I watched it and then I was like, oh, is that it?
The most annoying thing about it was sequel baiting. It's like Dune originally.
I don't remember.
It just ends. There's no film, it just ends.
I honestly could not tell you anything that happens in that movie except some polar bears fight.
Yeah, so they actually even completely changed the story as well, so it doesn't make sense because they wanted the big fight sequence to be at the end.
Fair,
but that doesn't. But the story was so. Normally, what happens in the main story is it's in the books and the TV show. Lara gets kidnapped by the people who are kidnapping children to separate the demons, and they're trying to cleanse their souls, basically, which makes sense. In the book, after that, they go to they try to. They go away and then they fall off and then she gets basically stuck with some polar bears and there's a big polar bear fight. But in the film, for some reason, the polar bears decide to kidnap her. For no fucking reason. I don't know why the polar bears would want to fucking kidnap her.
They did? I don't remember.
I mean, it makes no sense. Why would the polar bears kidnap the child? And then she just happens to stumble upon the big factory of fucking people kidnapping people. It's the shittiest fucking thing ever. And it's only because they wanted to have a big fight scene at the end.
Fair enough.
Which is like the dumbest reason to do it.
I mean, you gotta have a big action fight scene, because...
You don't at the end. Look at Dune. Both Dunes don't have a big action fight sequence at the end.
Dune 2 does.
Kind of. It still finalizes like hand-on-hand combat.
No, I think the last shot's... Spoilers. Zendaya's character walking...
Oh, no, yeah, the last shot. But I mean, like, it's still like, you know... There is another fight sequence.
There is the fight between Paul Atreides...
Okay, Dune 1 at least doesn't have a big fight sequence at the end.
Yes, it does.
It's 2 people.
That's the fucking ending of Dune 2.
Same with Dune 1 as well.
Yeah, but they
finished the same way.
Yeah, but they're both big character moments. Because
Yeah.
it's the first time Paul Atreides
I'm not
was
disagreeing with
killed,
that, but my point is, it's not a big fight sequence with like mass CGI.
In terms of character. Yeah.
Yeah, shut up.
Okay, next one. Fantastic Four with Chris Evans,
Oh, that's a good shout.
which may or may not come back from Deadpool, apparently, if rumors circulating and speculation. Because everyone is meant to be in that. Like, everyone was meant to be in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Because at this point, everyone just throws out everything to caution to the wind. Also, I think Chris Evans basically stated, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't be. I'd be more open to doing Johnny Storm or whatever it is than coming back to do Captain America."
Well, Johnny Storm seems more fun.
Yeah, he also gets to be a playboy dickhead, which he's been doing a lot recently.
That is true.
Like his character in like The Grey Man, his character in like he's just been having fun. I think more than anything else. I'd also like to see Jessica Alba back because she retired from acting, and that's sad.
Oh, that's sad.
I think she retired. I don't think she's been in anything for ages. Anyway, your next one, Dan.
I'm gonna go Game of Thrones.
Nah, that's dead, mate.
Yeah, I know, but I kind of just want them to redo the last series. I know they won't. I'm not saying they will, but I just wish they had redid the last series. Because part of me, like, I know I'll keep going on about it, but it literally killed, like, it ruined every other season. Like, do you know how bad a show has to end to do that?
How I Met Your Mother?
True, that's pretty bad as well.
Hey, kids, how do we, meet your mum? Oh, she's dead. And I want to bang your hot aunt, who isn't your aunt. Which, I hate that so much, because it's just like, he refers to her as Aunt Robin throughout the entire thing, like, oh, they're really super close, and it's like, the family sees her as like an aunt. And then the whole point of it is like, yeah, can I date the aunt at the end? It's such a weird ending. And they were like locked into it before, because I think the way they did it was they locked in the ending where he was always going to be dating Aunt Robin, and that's why it starts with Aunt Robin, and it's like, oh yeah. And then I think over the course of the show, Barney and Robin's relationship was much more interesting, but they'd already filmed the kids for their final scene, so they decided rather than refilm it or something, they just continue with the original, so they had to destroy all the character development.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I never watched it, but still. I mean, I've heard enough about it.
Yeah, it's such a weird choice. Because, like, they spend an entire season on Barney and Robin's marriage. And it's like, everyone gets to meet the mum through various misadventures and things like that before Ted does.
Yeah.
And it's like, here's an entire season solidifying why these two characters are meant to be together. The final episode is, all of this falls apart, and I want to bang the aunt. After they've been divorced from Barney, and Barney just knocks up a kid and goes, "Oh yeah, that's my life's purpose now." Such a weird choice. Anyway, back to Game of Thrones then.
Oh yeah, I mean, we all know how it ends at this point. It broke the internet. The ending.
Still haven't watched it. Still don't actually really know what happened, except someone got mad.
It's just like imagine, right? This whole franchise for 8 years leading up, right, to this character. Huh?
Wasn't it 10?
Oh, it's 10 years, 8 seasons.
Yeah.
10 years, 8 seasons.
Because it's the same length as Iron Man to Avengers Endgame.
Yes. So yeah, it's like literally building up this whole character moments, right? This whole character arc, building everything. And then the last episode, they just go, fuck that, we do what the fuck we want. And then like nothing's ever explained. Like everything random shit just happens, and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Wasn't it because there was no book?
Yeah, there's no book.
Anything?
No, why it was so shit is because they wanted to rush it so they could do fucking Star Wars.
And then they lost Star Wars. Now they're on Netflix.
HBO literally said to them, all right, you can have more episodes. Like, we're happy for you to do as many episodes as you want of this because it was making them shit tons of money. And they're like, no. We want to finish it this many episodes. We said we'd do this. We'd always do this. And then they have like loads of build up in the first like 5 seasons. And the last 3 seasons are so condensed and it just accelerates. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
I reckon, even though David Zaslav at that time wasn't involved, I reckon David Zaslav sat them down and went, hey, I'm going to destroy something in the future. Here, let me help you destroy this.
Yeah.
Okay,
What's your next one?
Percy Jackson?
Percy Jackson? They've made a TV show on that.
Yeah, I know, I haven't watched it.
No, never mind.
But the 2 movies, I like the first one.
Yeah, I like the first one.
I didn't love the second one, but I was like, oh, whatever, fuck it. I'm sure, like, I didn't even know it was based on a book. Which is
Did you
stupid.
not?
No, because I don't read books. But, I only found out, like, once everyone was talking about the fucking TV series, or, like, after the movies come out, and everyone was like, oh, it's rubbish, it's not anything like the book. And
I
didn't
actually
even
hate that
realize...
argument. I fucking hate that argument so much.
Yeah, like, Look, I can understand that argument because I have the same argument for video games, but I think video games is a different medium in itself. Because it's playing out like a movie already for a video game, whereas a book is written to be like descriptive. You have to visualize it, so of course they're gonna have to condense it down.
Also, if you have a character that has like, oh, they have purple hair and green eyes.
Yeah,
it's like fucking pain in the ass to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also,
Like,
books.
I think...
thing is, books and games are played a lot longer than films are shown.
Yeah.
So you have to cut things out. You just have to.
You can't have Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon where it's like 4 hours or 2 hours 30.
Yeah, it's just stupid at the point.
And whatever. But yeah, no, I enjoyed the first Percy Jackson movie, even though the character isn't a child, which I think is the point of those books, which is why they did the TV show with a child. I don't fucking care. I might watch the TV show. I've heard it's okay, but I don't care that much about the characters. I was just like, oh yeah, I'll continue watching these movies of... Because I like ancient Greek gods and stuff. I find that fascinating. Like, I always like a good TV show or movie where it's like Greek gods and everything are like having a bash. Because I find that lore so interesting.
No, that is fair. I mean, I do like a lot of ancient stuff. There's one I really enjoyed history in school. There's all the ancient mythology.
Yeah, that's the one religion I'd be down on board with. Is the Greek gods. Because North gods, whatever. They're just whatever. Greek gods, they're just everything cool. Like Zeus being a dickhead, what a cunt. But yeah, your next one?
Inside Job.
I was gonna say that one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one sucked.
I was like, oh, it was so good, so good.
Yeah, ends on a cliffhanger. Yeah, I wish that continued because that was a really good. I don't know why Netflix cancelled that. That was just in a wave of cancellations for Netflix. That was just like, what? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, I don't know. Netflix has so many TV shows. What I find amazing is how the fuck is Inside Job and it's ending on season 2 and Big Mouth finishing on season 8?
Because people like that weird gross show for some reason.
It's so shit.
It looks horrendous. Every time I see anything related to it, I'm just like, what the fuck is this garbage? Like, why is this popular? It's the same with Game of Thrones, but whatever.
No, but Game of Thrones doesn't look physically bad. It looks pretty...
I'm joking. I
know. Sorry. No, but you can say that, yeah.
Like, because it's just everyone's argument is, oh, you're just hating the popular thing. No, there's just that I don't understand. It's just lazy animation as well, from what I've seen, because it's just the bare bones minimum. There's no artistic style. Like, it's got an artistic style, but it is disgusting, and I don't get why you would ever want something to look like that. What else have I got? Give another one, Dan. I'm sure you have one.
I have another one. Well, a TV show I actually enjoyed was Outbreak, I think it was called.
Right. What's that about?
It's about it's like a zombie virus goes out. I think it's called Outbreak. No, Daybreak. That's what it's called. Sorry, Daybreak. And there's like a zombie virus that goes out and then infects like a town, but it doesn't affect children. But then under the age of 18, and then it's kind of like a little bit on the child side, but I'm pretty sure it was a 15 because like loads of blood and gore references and sex references.
Right.
But I really enjoyed it. Like, it's just a really good show. It's kind of like a bit quirky, a bit goofy. And yeah, Netflix just axed it, and I was like, and it was actually pretty good. I had like a lot of a good plot twist in it as well. But yeah, I don't know, it was a really good show that I really enjoyed. And then I found out they just counted after one season. I was like, shit.
Yeah, that's the worst, isn't it? You just find something, go, oh, I really enjoyed that, and then it's just like, oh, I wonder when season. Oh, no, it's been cancelled. It just sucks the current state of like movies and TV because it's just like if it doesn't immediately get traction and it then gets no time to grow an audience.
Yeah.
Like you get 24 episodes for like an old TV show in the day, and it had time to grow. It had time to grow an audience. It got put on at a specific time. People chose to watch it. Nowadays, it's just like gets 8 episodes. It gets dumped on a platform with no promotion, and then if it doesn't immediately grab everyone's attention, it gets cancelled.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, I haven't watched it, but the reason I didn't watch it was because it got cancelled, and it was a TV show called Teenage Bounty Hunters or something like that.
Right.
And it's basically 2 teenage girls basically are just basically living their life, and then they are like kicking ass bounty hunters. And I watched the trailer, and it looked really funny. And I was just like, oh, this looks interesting and fun. So I was going to give it a watch. And then it was just like, I looked it up and it was just like cancelled. And I was like, oh, okay.
Counts after one season.
Yeah. So if I go and watch it and it's really good, I'm like, that sucks. Then I'd have just watched this fun, interesting TV show for no reason other than... And I get that it's not meant to be watched like that and you shouldn't be waiting for season 2. But I don't think that show ended on like... I think that show probably ended on a cliffhanger as well, because it was like probably teasing another season. And it's just like, no one watched it. But I didn't even know about it. And because like Netflix does no promotion. Unless it's like an Avatar The Last Airbender and they put it on the hump page. And then I'm like, I don't care. I watched that kid show where I was like, I watched that show. This is the thing. I watched that show and everyone was like, oh, it's the best thing ever. And I understand. It's a good TV show for kids. But it is not that deep, dude. The animation is good. I like the characters, but I'm just like, it's not that deep. And I know everyone goes on about how deep it is and how good it is, and I get it. But it's for kids. It's like, there are more deep shows. And I just find that the reason why people love it is because they watched it as a kid. If you watched it now, you'd be like, okay. I can see where this show is good, and it's good for kids, but it is not deep enough for me as an adult to go, yes. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it was a good show. I didn't hate it. Everyone was like banging on about how great and how amazing it was, and I was just like, yeah, because you watched it as a child. And don't get me wrong, I have shows like that as well, and I have movies like that as well, and I'm not complaining. I would have preferred people just shut up and just tell me to watch it and then watch it on my own, and I would have gone, oh yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Oh, whatever.
Have you got anything else?
Not the top of my head.
So one that I really enjoyed was a TV show called The Tomorrow People.
The Tomorrow People.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot about it because it got cancelled. It came on in 2013 and got cancelled after one season, and it was a CW show, which I know people criticize, but I actually really enjoyed it. And to be honest, it was kind of like Inhumans, I guess, in a way, where people had like secret powers.
Let's bring Inhumans back.
It was a lot better than Inhumans, though. And once again, it was another TV show that just a lot of good plot twists,
mm-hmm.
and it ended on a cliffhanger, and it was really annoying. Because it's all about this guy who like loses his brother, then it's like he goes to find this other bunch of people. Well, he loses his father, and then some to his brother as well, and then he goes to find this group of people, and there's like it turns out secretly there's like they know something about it, and there's other secrets behind it. It was just a really good show, and they cancelled it, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I guess I'd have to say... Okay, so this will sound weird, but because I know it's coming back. But Netflix's Daredevil.
Yes.
I would say I would like that back as of the way Netflix... I hate how Netflix does stuff, but I think Netflix's Daredevil was a good thing. Because I really enjoyed all 3 seasons. I know people soured on them a bit, and it was just like... But I really liked Charlie Cox. I really liked the character. I think the arc was good. I liked Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. And watching all of the stuff that Marvel has tried to do with it since, with that the characters, like stitching them into the MCU, I would have just preferred them to not bother and just make new characters, like new versions. and just have the Charlie Cox version stay separated.
Thing is, there's no reason to have everything in the same universe now.
No.
Like, they have the multiverse. Like,
but you get brand recognition, Dan, and you get to go look at
just
point
let
at
it
that
be a
character.
multiverse.
No, but you get to point and look at that character and go, look, they're interacting with that other character that I really enjoy. But it just feels so weird that, like, the Kingpin from Daredevil season 3 to the Kingpin in Hawkeye to the Kingpin in Echo is such a weird jump, like, each time, because they're trying to change the character back from, like, the weird jump that they did to Hawkeye to then they're trying to bring him back from Echo, like, from Hawkeye to Echo to then go to the Daredevil TV series again. And I'm just like, oh my god, I get that you want to use the Kingpin, but the character jumps around so much.
Oh, I found another TV show that I watched that got cancelled. It's called Forever.
Stop watching cancelable shows.
I know! Literally, everything I watch get cancelled in one fucking season is fucking bullshit. And it's about a guy that lived basically forever for like 200 years, but he doesn't understand why. And then in his time, there's like, you know, he solves like murders cases and stuff because he basically goes to scenes of crimes, gets murdered, and reports back what it is at like some points. But there's like, I don't know. Once again, more plot twists, more interesting moments. And I think there's only... Oh no, there is 22 episodes. No, there's 20. It's the classic American TV show. 22 episodes a season.
Oh, there's... Yeah, that was what I was... So, there was one that when I was scrolling through the cancelled TV and movie stuff that I was like, oh yeah, that would have been weird to have a sequel to. And that was Chicken Little.
Oh yeah?
There was apparently plans to do a 2 of that, and I was like, oh, I wonder what the plot is. And apparently he was going to try and fuck a sheep. So
Oh, what the fuck?
Like, not literally.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There was going to be a love triangle between him, that duck, and another character, which was a sheep. And I was like, okay. So that would have been interesting to see. I would have also liked... I know everyone hates it, but the Assassin's Creed movie with Michael Fassbender, I really enjoyed.
Yeah?
I would have liked to see a continuation of the Assassin's Creed franchise through movies. I think they're doing a TV show at some point, but I would have liked to continue that. I really liked Michael Fassbender in the role. I know people were complaining it was a bit dull and boring and there wasn't much to it, but I just enjoy watching Michael Fassbender on screen, so I was just like, yeah, keep doing that. And then the other one, it got cancelled because it was during Marvel's like push to consolidate everything, but it was Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the animated thing. Because it had a really cool art style, and then the later seasons they tried to... It was only 1-2 seasons, and then they did another Avengers animated thing called Avengers Assembled.
Yes.
Which then got basically cancelled again, but the animation style between like the last 2 seasons changed dramatically. And I was just like, I really like the original art style of like Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And then they went to this other one, and then it went, oh yeah, it's kind of just standard animation. And then they went back to a weirder animation, but it was a worse animation that was just weird. And I was just like, oh, come on. And then they cancelled it because they wanted to do all of the other stuff and tie it in to the MCU. And I was just like, okay, cool, whatever. Oh, and I have to say, I know it's not cancelled, but I would have loved to see a revival of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Gotta get it in there. Because they did a movie where it ties back in called Dark Dimensions, and it ties back into the show. And I want to see another movie that continues that. Because that movie ends on a cliffhanger. Stop flashing your light.
I like flashing my lights.
You could be doing that guy who got charged on cyber flashing now.
Why?
There was one guy who, the first person in history to be convicted of cyber flashing, Dan, which was sending his dick to an underage girl. And it's now been classified as cyber flashing.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, that's interesting, I guess.
Yeah, what a way to end the show.
Why would you end it? Yeah, I think I'm happy with all my options I've given out.
Happy Easter. I'm sure there's millions more. Let us know.
What shows did you like that got cancelled?
Yeah, what shows, movies, games, book series? I know the Divergent series was one that everyone was like, oh, okay, yeah, that deserved to get cancelled. 'Cause I remember that fiasco of like those movies where I was just like, oh yeah, the Allegiant, Divergent, whatever the other one, and then it was just like the fourth movie of part 1 of part 2 was gonna come out, and then they just never did it, and then it was like, oh yeah, we'll make a TV show, and then it was like, yeah, we never did that. It was just like, oh yeah, this movie franchise with 3 films just ends basically with no continuation. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed. Happy Easter. This is super Easter related. Real big bunny eating chocolate eggs vibes.
Hey, well, maybe next year we'll do just a video where we just eat chocolate.
Ooh.
We do an Easter mukbang.
I am having Easter eggs filled with cheesecake.
You're actually going for it?
I did. I caved and I...
You're a weak man.
I am weak to food. But yeah. Thank you for listening. Check us out on all of the things that we have. Links in the description. Bye.
Bye-bye.